There's a by-election happening in the UK this week, in the constituency of Gorton and Denton, in the northwest of England. But what actually is a by-election? Why do they happen? And why is this one getting so much attention? The UK is divided into 650 areas called constituencies. Each one elects a Member of Parliament, or MP, who represents that area in the House of Commons. At a general election, all 650 constituencies vote on the same day. So a general election is really hundreds of local elections happening at once, across England, Scotland, Wales and Northern Ireland. A by-election is different. It happens when just one constituency needs to elect a new MP because the person who held the seat can no longer do the job for one of several reasons. The most common reason is that an MP resigns.
Hasta la vista, baby!
That's happened several times in recent years. For instance, Boris Johnson resigned as an MP in 2023 after an investigation into the Partygate scandal found he had misled Parliament.
This is it, folks. Thank you, everybody, for coming out.
On that occasion, the Conservatives managed to hold on to his former seat of Uxbridge and South Ruislip. Another example is Neil Parish, who stepped down in 2022 after admitting he watched pornography while in Parliament.
Mr. Parish, did you watch porn in the Commons? Did you watch porn in the Commons?
A by-election can also happen if an MP dies, becomes seriously ill, or leaves the House of Commons to take another role, like joining the House of Lords. In very rare cases, an MP could even be forced out for financial reasons, such as bankruptcy, which automatically disqualifies them from sitting in Parliament. When a seat becomes vacant, only voters in that one constituency go back to the polls. Once a by-election is officially called, things move quickly. Whoever wins becomes the MP for that area until the next general election. Importantly, a by-election does not decide who runs the country. The government stays in place unless it loses its overall majority, which almost never happens because of a single seat. But that doesn't mean by-elections don't matter. By-elections are one of the clearest ways to measure public opinion between general elections. They can show whether voters are still backing the governing party, whether opposition parties are gaining momentum, or whether smaller parties are breaking through in places they normally wouldn't. We saw that clearly under the last Conservative government. After years of leadership changes and political turmoil, a series of by-elections began to show support, slipping away from the Tories, even in seats they had held comfortably, well before they eventually lost power at the general election. Which brings us to Gorton and Denton. Voters there are heading to the polls because the sitting Labour MP, Andrew Gwynn, stepped down on medical grounds. He had previously been suspended from the Labour Party after offensive WhatsApp messages were leaked, and he was subject to an investigation by the Parliamentary Commissioner for Standards. While Gorton and Denton itself is a new constituency established in 2024, most of the communities within it have a long history of voting Labour, which makes the prospect of a close contest politically significant. For Prime Minister Keir Starmer, it's a test of whether Labour's support is holding up in areas the party has long relied on. If Labour loses, the government will still hold a majority in Parliament and continue as normal. But politically, the result would be read as a warning sign about voter frustration and the direction of the country ahead of the next general election, expected for 2029. That's why a single by-election in just one part of Greater Manchester can suddenly matter far beyond its borders.